Yeah. Analytics off the chain, other channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. I'm a headliner.
What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. Week 4 right around the corner. And boy, do we have a banger today, because we're going to start giving crap away for free on Thursdays. Now, if you watched last week's tailgate episode, you saw us get a mystery box from Pristine Auction. Some of the items you see behind me, they're going to start sending us a few items every single week. What are we doing with those items? We're opening them on Fridays and then giving one of them away on Thursdays. And we're starting off today, and it's super easy. How are you entered in to win this week's autographed Josh Jacobs jersey? You see it right there. All you got to do, like the video, leave a comment down below and say Jacobs or interested, Jacobs jersey. I'm interested in the jersey. However you want me to know that you're interested in that jersey, leave the comment down below. Lastly, go to pristineauction.com and set up a free account using the referral code of Headliners. Once you do that, you're all set. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You have to do nothing. You set up that free account. We're going to send you a $10 off coupon off your first purchase. Now, maybe you've signed up here in the last couple months. That's cool. You're still entered. Just leave that comment down below, and we're looking forward to giving away items every single Thursday. So hit that like button, because it's going to be a lot of fun. But now we're going to head into our rankings. Something led to this message this week. Anybody care to guess why I would send a message like that to Kyle? Yeah, there's probably a few different reasons why, but last week he went a little bit deeper, right? He went with his nifty 50 wide receivers, and then all of a sudden they're like, Jake, can we get more than 30? Jake, can I have 35? Jake, how about 40? Thanks, Kyle. Now we're going 40 deep. I had a cool name. I called it the Quick and Dirty Top 30, and now I got to come up with something for 40 running backs. So if you got a cool name, let me know down below in the comment section as well. But we're going to kick it off with quarterbacks and our top 20 here for week 4. Number 1's Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, an Eagles secondary that was just torched by a bunch of people in Dallas that you weren't really expecting, right? We saw some Cedric Wilson, some tight ends get involved. Of course, we know Patty Mahomes throwing the ball a lot, got him at number 1. Number 2, that's going to be Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. This offense is clicking on all cylinders, and now they get a matchup against Houston. Absolutely love that. Number 3, Tom Brady, going back to Foxborough to face the Patriots. That right there is the epitome of all things I want to watch this week, and he's going to try to put up a big number on the Patriots. Got him at number 3. Number 4, Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams, an interdivisional matchup going up against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, one of the highest scoring teams in all of football. In fact, both of these teams, the highest scoring teams in football. You know that they have that opportunity to put up big numbers, and he has a ton of weapons. Got Matthew Stafford in an easier matchup going up against that Arizona secondary. Got him at number 4. Number 5, that's where I have his opponent, though, is Kyler Murray. A tougher matchup for Kyler, right? I would say that the Rams defense overall is better than the Cardinals defense, but Kyler has that rushing upside, and it keeps him at the top of the rankings. That's why he's at number 5. Number 6 is Justin Herbert, because right now I'm not feeling totally fancy, so I'll use Herbert instead of Herbert, but he's got a matchup Monday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders, a very impressive Las Vegas Raiders team. However, with Mike Williams added into this offense the way that he has been and the success that he's found, the ceiling has absolutely been risen for one Justin Herbert. So between him, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, safe floor, high ceiling, got Herbert at 6. Number 7, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles, going up against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, like we mentioned earlier. Now, he has weapons to throw it to, right? They're just not throwing a ton, but with that rushing upside, calling his own number around the goal line, he has that opportunity to get you that safe 20, 21 points a week. May not always hit those huge numbers, but in a matchup where I expect them to be trailing and having to come from behind, we could see some bigger plays in garbage time. That's why I got Jalen Hurts at number 7. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, going up against the Denver Broncos, a very difficult Broncos defense. A lot of people still don't want to give credit to this team, saying they haven't faced anybody yet. Well, just wait. They're not a bad defense overall. Lamar Jackson really waiting until he can get Rashad Bateman back to help out, because Hollywood Brown is doing him no favors at this point. Do I expect 3 drop touchdowns this week? No, I don't. So that's why I got Lamar Jackson, number 8. Number 9 is Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, another interdivisional matchup here between two NFC West teams. And we see a lot of deep balls in Seattle, right? We also saw a banged up Tyler Lockett, who did come back into the game, so we're not overly worried. We'll check with the doc on that tomorrow. However, However, they're really just living and dying by the deep ball at this point because the volume just isn't really there. Russell Wilson seems like he's putting up huge numbers, but they're not that huge. They're consistent. It's a safe floor, and that big playability gives them that higher ceiling. That's why right now, sitting at number 9. Number 10, Dak Prescott. Dallas Cowboys going up against the Carolina Panthers. Another super solid defense there in Carolina. Plus, it's not so much the defense of Carolina, it's the injuries on the offensive side of the football for Dak Prescott. We know that Amari Cooper is not 100%. We know there's still no Michael Gallup. He's relying a lot more on tight ends and running backs out of the backfield because defenses are really keying in on trying to limit CeeDee Lamb. That's going to limit the ceiling of Dak Prescott. Plus, we saw it just last week. Dak is a little bit more reserved when scrambling outside of the pocket. He's not really trying to do anything crazy because of that injury he suffered last year. He's playing a little bit safer, sliding before contact, which is smart. It just limits some of that potential scoring. That's why I got him right here, number 10. Number 11 is Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would like to say that this defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers is just going to shut down Aaron Rodgers, but it's really not. Let's be honest. The offense is starting to click here in Green Bay. The confidence is back. The cockiness is back. The playmakers are all over the field. Devontae Adams making huge plays out there, getting dang near knocked out. Aaron Jones looking like he's on another level. Seeing some MVS sightings, some Allen Lazard sightings. Definitely an opportunity for this team to go out each and every week and put up good numbers. And that's why Rodgers is pretty much going to stay inside the top 12 all year long. Got him right here, number 11. Number 12, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. A difficult matchup for him going up against the Cleveland Browns. But let's be honest, at this point, Kirk Cousins is almost matchup proof. Now, I'm not saying that because his ceiling is so high. It's really not, but his floor is super high. You're looking at a guy that's going to go out on a weekly basis and get you between 18 and 21 fantasy points. Now, the addition of KJ Osborne, we saw some Tyler Conklin last week. How much do we see of Dalvin Cook this week? Add that into the factor of Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. He's definitely got weapons to go out there on a weekly basis and produce solid numbers and give you a great fantasy day. That's why I got Kirk Cousins, number 12. Number 13 is Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, playing here Thursday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Burrow looking like he's one of the more efficient quarterbacks in the NFL as of right now, not relying on 50 pass attempts a game. No T. Higgins, that hurts, but he still has Tyler Boyd. He still has Jamar Chase, who's absolutely balling out right now. Plus, Joe Mixon in the backfield, plenty of opportunities for him to put up good points against Jacksonville. Thursday Night Football, that's why I got him at number 13. Number 14, Sam Darnold, Carolina Panthers, going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we kind of saw the Cowboys secondary at times a little bit vulnerable, as long as you don't throw it towards Trayvon Diggs. For the love of all things holy, that guy is an elite young cornerback, but Sam Darnold has weapons everywhere, right? DJ Moore, we saw force-fed last week. We still haven't hardly seen Robbie Anderson. We still haven't seen Terrace Marshall Jr., and now with no CMC, it could force Sam Darnold to have to throw the ball down the field more often. In a game in which I still expect Dallas to score some points, and Carolina having to keep pace, got Darnold at number 14. Number 15 is Derek Carr, Las Vegas Raiders, playing Monday Night Football against the Los Angeles Chargers. By far the most difficult matchup that he's going to have had so far this season, but he's absolutely killing it, leading the NFL in passing, which is nuts. A lot of people want to point out that we talked about earlier, his lack of big play weapons, right? He had Darren Waller and then a bunch of question marks. Well, the question marks are starting to pan out, right? Bryan Edwards looks good. Hunter Renfrow looks good. Henry Ruggs finally getting involved in the offensive game plan, and that's really helping out Derek Carr on a weekly basis. Plus, not having Josh Jacobs, not having to throw as much to running backs because Kenny Drake is almost non-existent because Peyton Barber is the second coming of Barry Sanders right now. That's why I got Derek Carr at 15. Number 16 is Jimmy G, San Francisco 49ers, going up against the Seattle Seahawks, one of those teams that just allows a butt ton of points to opposing quarterbacks. And with Jimmy G having Brandon Ayuk coming back here finally, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and a banged-up running game, they're throwing the ball as well, and they're going to have to continue to do that to keep pace with Seattle. Got them right now, Jimmy G at number 16. Number 17 is Taylor Heineke, Washington football team. I wanted to put him higher. Full disclosure, with a matchup going up against Atlanta, this is just screaming a good game for Taylor Heineke, but I didn't want to raise expectations so high that people were sitting proven studs for Taylor Heineke. Let's be realistic. Some of these names above him are just a lot safer, but I like what I'm seeing, and right now got him at 17. Number 18, Teddy B, Teddy Two Gloves of the Denver Broncos going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Talk about a guy who's been efficient. He's taking care of the football. He's completing his passes. He's not making any stupid mistakes. He's scrambling for the first downs when needed. He still has Noah Fant, Cortland Sutton. Even though they lost KJ Hamler, they're waiting for Jerry Jeudy to come back. They still have Tim Patrick in the mix. Definitely enough opportunities for him to go out there and continue to be a safer play. The ceiling may not be there with some of the injuries they have, but he's still a safe floor quarterback, especially for those of you playing in 2 quarterback leagues. Number 19 is Ryan Tannehill. Honestly, another guy I want to put higher. I love Ryan Tannehill, but A.J. Brown hurt. Julio Jones hurt. Until we really find out what the status is of Julio here this weekend, I'm having a hard time putting him higher because with the injury to their 2 top wide receiving options, not a solid tight end in the mix, I'm seeing a whole lot of Derrick Henry in this game, especially going up against the Jets where they may not have to throw the ball as much. Plus, surprisingly, the Jets are really good against opposing quarterbacks. So, like I said, a lot more Derrick Henry. That's why I got Ryan Tannehill dropped down this far as of right now to number 19. And then number 20, Matt Ryan. The only reason I'm including Matt Ryan here is because he's playing the Washington football team whose defense has been underwhelming and allows arguably some of the most points to opposing quarterbacks. Plus, they know they have the weapons, right? We know they have Calvin Ridley. They have Kyle Pitts. They just need to utilize them more. They're just not doing it as of right now, but they have that opportunity in a good matchup here this week against a team that surrenders a lot of points. Matt Ryan could be a safer floor quarterback, and that's why I got him at number 20. But now it's time we turn our attention to running backs. And like I said, in the past here, the last few weeks, we've done our quick and dirty top 30. Now that I'm being asked to do more, thanks, Kyle, we're doing the top 40. I need a cool name, though. Reminder, put that down below in the comment section because here we go, the top 40 running backs for week 4 fantasy football. And number 1 is going to be Derrick Henry. We just talked about this with quarterbacks and Ryan Tannehill, right? With limited weapons on the outside. Plus, all of a sudden, Derrick Henry out there catching some passes this year, y'all. I got him at number 1 going up against the New York Jets. Number 2 is Alvin Kamara, New Orleans Saints, going up against the New York Giants. A great matchup for Alvin Kamara, and now all of a sudden this dude is getting usage through the air and on the ground with over 20-plus carries just last week. A great matchup. Got Alvin Kamara, number 2. Number 3 is Austin Eckler, Los Angeles Chargers, a matchup Monday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders, and honestly, it's a little bit difficult to run between the tackles against the Las Vegas Raiders, but that's okay. That's not where Austin Eckler excels. He excels in the passing game. He's caught all 15 of his targets so far here in 2021. Got him bumped up here all the way to number 3 this week. Number 4, Nick Chubb, Cleveland Browns, a matchup going up against the Minnesota Vikings. And honestly, this is really all about volume and opportunity, right? He's going to get 20-plus touches behind one of the best offensive lines in football, and they're going to be in a run-first offense every single week. With the injuries to Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham still being worked back somewhat slowly, that limits the passing upside in this offense, more reliancy on the running game. That's why I got Nick Chubb sitting right here, number 4. Number 5 is Joe Mixon, Cincinnati Bengals, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight here, Thursday Night Football. And another one of those guys that we know is going to see volume, right? 20-plus touches on the ground, one of the league leaders in rushing, still has that pass-catching upside, which we still haven't really seen yet. So we haven't even seen the ceiling as of yet. Do we see it Thursday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars? I would like to think we see a pretty good game here with a late game lead by the Cincinnati Bengals. Got Joe Mixon sitting right here, number 5. Number 6, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers, a matchup here this week going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not ideal, right? But the way they're utilizing Aaron Jones, not only on the ground, but in the passing game, is opening up all kinds of points for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Jones, kind of making him matchup proof at this point. And the ceiling is huge because there's not a ton of weapons on the outside. Sure, they'll sprinkle in Lazard, they'll sprinkle in MVS, but it's mostly Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones. They're the only 2 people really being looked at consistently by Aaron Rodgers. That's why he's still up at number 6. Number 7, Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings. And honestly, kind of waiting to find out exactly what we have with Dalvin Cook here this week. I want to move him higher, but I don't want to have a split here where we still see Alexander Madison and we get burned. Now, obviously, if Cook starts, you play him, right? That's not really a question mark here because they did sit him out for precautionary reasons last week. I would think that if he wasn't good enough to go this week, they wouldn't play him again. Just pay attention to the practice reports so we really have an idea of how to expect some production from him here this week. Number 8 is Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers, a matchup going up against the Green Bay Packers, who we know are putting up points right now. The problem is Pittsburgh, a lot of their weapons are injured, and Najee Harris is getting all kinds of crazy looks out of the backfield. 19 targets just last week, and now their weapons aren't all that much healthier, like Najee Harris right here at number 8. Number 9, Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis Colts. A great matchup for him going up against the Miami Dolphins, a Dolphins defense which allows a lot of points to opposing running backs, and this is a great opportunity for JT to get back on track. Got him at number 9. Number 10, DeAndre Swift, who's finally getting more and more and more and more usage in the passing game, making him a lot safer start on a weekly basis here this week, going up against the Chicago Bears, but likely he's not reliant on running between the tackles. He's so involved in the passing game right now, and they want to get him even more involved, which really raises that ceiling. That's why I got him right here, number 10. Number 11, Saquon Barkley, New York Giants, with a matchup here this week going up against the New Orleans Saints. And for Saquon Barkley, it's kind of a similar situation to him and Najee Harris, right? There's a lot of injuries on the outside for the Giants with Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. Evan Ingram is just Evan Ingram at this point, right? So they need more playmakers in this offense until they can get healthier. Saquon Barkley looking close to 100%. That's why I got him right here, number 11. Number 12 is Chris Carson, Seattle Seahawks, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, and Carson's usage is down, right? But they're trying to do that on purpose to keep him healthy all year long. The great part about it, he's getting a lot of looks inside the red zone and racking up touchdowns, and that's why I'm continuing to keep him here inside the top 12 at number 12. Number 13, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys, a matchup going up against the Carolina Panthers, a very difficult defense to run against. But did you see Zeke Elliott last week? The guy looked reinvigorated. He was running hard, running strong, finding the holes, and making quick decisions. That's why I got him up here still at number 13. Number 14, Antonio Gibson, because I had that one-on-one talk with Ron Rivera this week. And Ron, you better listen, Ron. And we're talking about giving the ball more, especially in the passing game, to Antonio Gibson, a matchup going up against the Atlanta Falcons, the perfect opportunity, Ron. That's why I got Antonio Gibson at 14. Number 15, David Montgomery. Now, I have bashed Matt Nagy for the entire week, right? Should I continue? Yeah, I'm going to, because Matt Nagy's play calling has sucked. It can only get better from here. Now he gets the Detroit Lions, who are, over the course of the season, one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, despite what they did in week 3 against Baltimore. So I love the opportunity for David Montgomery. Can Matt Nagy not screw it up? I would have him higher if it wasn't for the Nagy factor. That's why I got him at 15. Number 16, Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles, a matchup here this week going up against the Kansas City Chiefs in a game in which they need more Miles Sanders. Every time this guy touches the ball, he does something well with it. He's just not getting the touches. That has to be a part of the game plan moving forward. In a game against Kansas City, in which there could be a lot of scoring, they're going to continue to try to find more playmakers in Philadelphia. Miles Sanders is one of them. They got to find ways to get him the ball more often. That's why I got him at number 16. Number 17 is James Robinson, Jacksonville Jaguars, playing Thursday Night Football, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'd like to put him higher, right? But we've been burned by Urban Meyer in the past. He's given us the virtual finger in all things fantasy football just in week 1. And that kind of gives me a little bit of pause for the cause, I guess you could say. And I'm just tempering expectations slightly, but I do have him at number 17 in hopes they continue the usage that we saw in week 3. Number 18, Kareem Hunt, Cleveland Browns, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, and Hunt is still involved in this passing game because of the injuries on the outside. We talked about this for weeks, and that's okay. Both him and Chubb can coexist, but they're still going to need Hunt in the passing game. That's why I got him at number 18. Number 19, CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, going up against those Philadelphia Eagles in a matchup we've talked about a couple times now already today. They need to continue to involve CEH to boost the confidence. They're going to need this guy for the entire season. He's going to be a part of this offense more and more as the season progresses. Build that confidence now. Force feed him touches like we saw last week, and he could surprise you once again. Got him at number 19. Number 20, Myles Gaskin, Miami Dolphins, in a matchup this week going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are honestly not as difficult to run against as we may have thought coming into the season. Gaskin averaging over 5 yards a carry. Last week, he had the most touches in a game he's had so far this season. They're slowly giving him more and more, and he's producing. We need him to find the end zone. Got him at number 20. 21, Chase Edmonds, Arizona Cardinals, a matchup going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Difficult to run up the middle on Aaron Donald, right? Exactly. Not as difficult to try to get the ball in the hands of playmakers out in space, which Chase Edmonds has a way of doing in short passing game, in the screen game, and I expect a little bit more of that than usual this week. That's why I got Chase Edmonds at 21. 22, Cordero Patterson of the Atlanta Falcons, who is officially a thing, I guess you could say now, averaging right around 7 carries and 7 targets a game, is enough to put him up in this conversation of a top 24 guy. And that's where I kind of have him right now at number 22. 23, Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a matchup going up against New England. No Gio Bernard, which means there's more passing work open in this backfield. They're not throwing it to Ronald Jones very much because dude can't catch consistently. Who are they going to throw it to now? It's going to be a little bit more Leonard Fournette, and that's why I got him bumped up to number 23 in a game in which I expect the Bucs to try to lay it on the Patriots. Number 24, this is where I have Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos. Now, a lot of people still say, yeah, but Melvin Gordon's still the guy, and he may be in the box score, but the transition is slowly coming for this kid to get more and more work. He is the better running back. I don't care what anybody says. This guy is the better running back in this backfield in a matchup here this week with the Baltimore Ravens. I expect him to try to get the ball on the outside a little bit quicker and not just pound Melvin Gordon up the middle inefficiently. Try to get Javonte Williams the ball on the outside and see if he can make a defender miss and get a big play. Number 25, this is where I have Zach Moss of the Buffalo Bills. I don't love it. It doesn't taste great. I have this weird flavor in the back of my mouth because of it, but he seems to be the guy right now that's getting the goal line carries and the PPR upside in this offense. That's why I got him at 25. 26, Nyheim Hines of the Indianapolis Colts in that easier matchup going up against the Dolphins. Now, just because I expect more Jonathan Taylor in this game doesn't mean that they just abandon Nyheim Hines altogether. He's a guy that doesn't need huge volume. He can make big plays happen. Plus, they give him the occasional carry inside the goal line there. That's why I still got him at number 26. 27, Chuba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers going up against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, where that defense looked great just last week, and that's where I get a little bit worried. Are they going to give Chuba CMC volume? I'm not convinced of that. Plus, Royce Freeman's still in the mix, and I expect a lot more in the passing game down the field to the likes of DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Terrace Marshall. That's why I'm tempering expectations here week one and got Hubbard at 27. 28, Melvin Gordon, Denver Broncos. Just talked about Javonte Williams. I expect Melvin Gordon to still be involved in this game, just a little bit more inefficient and more touchdown reliant than maybe a Javonte Williams, but I don't hate him. That's why I still got him at 28. 29, Damian Harris, New England Patriots, going up against a very difficult defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have somewhat underperformed here as of late. But it takes some of the pressure off of Mac Jones at times. They really need to utilize the running game. Damian Harris, if you can go out there and get you right around 15 carries or so, is going to be a decent running back 3. That's why I got him at 29. 30, Mike Davis of the Atlanta Falcons, getting right around 8.5 targets a game, which is enough to make him, a consideration inside the top 40, but he's not somebody who I'm overly excited about. This offense just doesn't look great. We're just hoping for a safe number out of him. That's why I got him at number 30. 31, Trey Sermon, San Francisco 49ers, a matchup going up against Seattle, which isn't bad, but what's the ability of Elijah Mitchell? Do we see a lot more Elijah Mitchell? Because Trey Sermon was not great on the ground. He was saved by a touchdown late, but if he's their only option, he's still somebody who has a decent floor. Got him at 31. Number 32 is Sony Michel, Los Angeles Rams. Now, I've seen the reports that Darrell Henderson could play, but I've also seen them say that Sony Michel isn't going to go away. I really expect them to lean on the precautionary side with Darrell Henderson and not rush him back in a game this week going up against the Arizona Cardinals, which isn't exactly an easy matchup for opposing running backs. I still have Sony Michel right here at 32 until we get more information heading into the weekend. 33, Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys. This really all comes down to the offense of the Carolina Panthers. And maybe you're wondering, why does the Carolina Panthers offense really matter to Tony Pollard? We need the Panthers offense to continue scoring, because if this game gets out of hand, kind of like it did in Dallas last week, we see a lot less Tony Pollard because they bang Zeke on the ground a lot more. We need a close game or a Panthers lead to get Tony Pollard more touches. Got him at 33. 34, Devin Singletary of the Buffalo Bills. This backfield has an opportunity this week to have a huge game against Houston. But is it Singletary? Is it Moss? That's the biggest question mark. The reason I had Moss higher was because of the goal line carries and the PPR upside, but Devin Singletary still has flex potential in some leagues. Got him at 34. 35, Latavius Murray, Baltimore Ravens. I hate this. I love Tyson Williams a lot more in this backfield. The problem is Latavius Murray getting more touches, getting the goal line carries, more big play dependency on Tyson Williams. In a game here this week for the Baltimore Ravens in a difficult matchup going up against the Denver Broncos, I'm taking the guy who gets the opportunities on the goal line, and I'm going Latavius Murray. 36 is going to be Michael Carter of the New York Jets, a matchup going up against the Tennessee Titans. So a decent matchup, and we're starting to see Michael Carter get more and more volume as the weeks progress, and that's really because Zach Wilson is struggling. He's throwing more balls to the wrong team than he is the right team. Take some pressure off your rookie quarterback, involve the running game a little bit more, and that's why I got Michael Carter at 36. 37, Alexander Madison. I still have him here inside the top 40 because I'm not 100% convinced that Dalvin Cook is 100% and doesn't split some touches here throughout the week. I'm hoping for more clarity as we head into the weekend. We'll update that on the live show, but got him right now at 37. 38 is Jamal Williams of the Detroit Lions in a matchup going up against the Chicago Bears. He's still involved. He's just not this 50-50 split guy that we saw to start the season. Love that for DeAndre Swift. Hate that for Jamal Williams because now he's all the way down at 38. 39, this is where I have Tyson Williams of the Baltimore Ravens. Got both him and Murray here in this 35 to 39 range because I do believe in the potential big play ability from Tyson Williams. I don't want people to stray away from him altogether. And once you get to this point of the rankings, everybody is boom or bust. So I'll take the opportunity for the guy that's on the team that really relies on the run the most. I'm going Tyson Williams at 39. And then 40, James Conner. Kind of difficult to figure out, right? Really requires a lead to see more James Conner. Going to be difficult for that against the Los Angeles Rams. However, the high-powered offense of the Arizona Cardinals gives scoring opportunities. If they can find themselves inside the 5, I expect James Conner to get those touches, and that's why I have him right here, number 40. All right, and those are my top 40 running backs here for Week 4 fantasy football. And just a reminder, I expect a lot of people to have differences in their rankings, and that is okay. We're all supposed to have different rankings so we can hear different perspectives on different players. If all of our rankings were the same, they would be boring and pointless to watch, right? So let's make sure we look at everything, we try to analyze everything the best we can, and come out to the best possible conclusion. Do us a favor, though. Leave that comment down below if you're interested in the Josh Jacobs jersey. Hit the like button, and make sure you create your free account at pristineauction.com and use that referral code headliners. There is a link down below in the description. Do not miss out on doing that right now. We're going to be giving away items every single week, so get signed up now. Looking forward to giving that away, but hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy some Thursday night football, and we'll talk to you later.